Welcome to Ladies of Another View on BEK. I am Mary, and my partners in crime today are Miss Ann and Miss Carmen. We have a great show planned. Sitting in our dude seat right next to us is Will Gardner, and he's going to talk about the data centers that are being proposed in Mandan or north of Mandan. Later in the show, we're also going to visit with another gal who has been following this really closely, Dawn Shepard. She's from the New Salem area, and she's been really involved with the wind towers or the data centers, everything pertaining to, like, let's just say, private property rights. All right, and then later in the show, we're going to talk to a gal who's here from Fanatics, and they have their year-ending concert down at the Bismarck Depot, and they're doing a fundraiser, and I shouldn't say a fundraiser, a school drive. So they're looking for school supplies, and we're going to talk to her later in the show. But first, before we get to all of that, do you want to know what else I've realized? Looking your best is only half the battle. People remember how you smell, if you can believe it or not.
Oh, yes,
my husband started using Masculine Man natural deodorant, and it's honestly become one of those products he can't be without. Game changer if you live on a ranch.
I was going to say.
The first thing I noticed was the scent. It doesn't smell like your typical deodorant. It smells like a premium men's cologne, which in a calf truck, why wouldn't you want to smell a little bit better? The second thing I noticed, it actually works. It's natural, aluminum free, which is what everybody's after right now. It's made right here in America, and it keeps him smelling fresh and confident all day long. No white marks on his shirts, right? No yellow stains into the pits, no greasy or sticky feeling, just premium fragrance and all-day odor protection. Most deodorants make you compromise. You either get a deodorant that smells great, one that's natural, or one that actually works. And sometimes I even used to double up. I'd put 2 different aluminum-free deodorants on because one just wasn't working. Anyway, Masculine Man delivers all 3 of those. If you're ready to upgrade something you use every single day, head over to masculinemanessentials.com and use the code LADIES10 for 10% off your order.
Can it make men more masculine?
Well, it makes them smell better, that's for sure.
Right on.
Not if I'm
checking.
going to use it. I don't want to get more.
No, and ladies, they're working on a ladies product too, but like right now, I do use a men's deodorant because, and I've tried everything. I've tried the Lumi, I've tried the, what is that natural one, Nature
so many,
or something.
yeah.
But anyway, none of them actually work. I mean, they work for a while, it seems, and then they don't. So we're giving this a shot. And anyway. Plus,
All right.
I have those college-age boys, or
Oh,
they're
yeah.
actually in their early 20s, I should say. And you know, a good stick of deodorant wouldn't go wrong at any time for anybody. All right, so Will, sorry.
I was working on the shed, and I was thinking, you know what? If I just had that, I think my wife would have just embraced me right when I came in working from the shed. Maybe not. I don't know.
Give it a try.
Oh yeah. Well, that's just it. You're a soccer player. You
Yeah.
should try it. You really should. I mean, you spend a little bit more, but those natural ones you have to. Plus, it's made in the United States, so why wouldn't you want to promote a small business here in the United States of America?
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So, wow, we kind of went down a different road, but Will, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you do smell fine right
Thank you.
now.
I can't, I tell you.
about
Anyway,
it.
Will is going to talk a little bit about what's going on over in Mandan because there's so many concerns. And okay, is it all hype? Is it all not? I mean, some people are worried. Some people say it's not a big deal. And you actually sat down with the owners of the company or the investors.
Yeah.
Why don't you explain it to us, who you spoke with and what you learned?
Yeah, so I sat down with a couple representatives from Stark Power, and Stark Power is the one that's is running and pushing the initiative to purchase this forward. I just wanted to know what was out there and understand that, you know, where things were coming from, and to make sure that I was informed because we're making some decisions on.
All right, so I should take a time out right there. Your title, you are actually on the Mandan City Commission, the
Planning and Zoning Commission.
Planning and Zoning Commission for the city of Mandan, North Dakota. So I should have introduced you that way in the beginning, but let's just go ahead, carry on.
Yeah. So we have to come up with some decisions on that, and so some of the things that we've this is. Coincided, I shouldn't say coincided, that's actually the opposite word. This is, for the past year and a half, I think I'm getting the time frame right, we've been working on totally revamping the rules that the Planning and Zoning Commission works off of for whenever you want to build something in town. A lot of it was, I believe, the drive of it originally. I wasn't really part of the initial drive. Matter of fact, Andrew Strami, who used to be the Planning and Zoning Commissioner, is no longer the Planning and Zoning Commissioner. Not the commissioner, he was the head of the Planning and Zoning.
Like chairperson.
The city planner, I think is his title.
Okay.
So he's no longer here, but he'd done a lot of that work to get it started. A lot of the thrusters, there was a lot of things like you couldn't utilize the downtown area. It was just because of the way things were worded, the number of parking spaces required, they just didn't line up with the way that the city was growing. So this, and I say all that for the simple intention, I didn't really even think about this until we just started talking here, because that code is what is kind of the centerpiece of what we're talking about here. But this has really been about a 1.5 year project that has been started, and that's the reason why we are now in the middle of this decision of what to do with data centers. Now, had we not even changed the code, or we would still have to introduce some piece of code in order to deal with this. So that's, so this question would have come up no matter what of how to, I believe. And I'll just say, like, I don't do this full time. I got a job. Matter of fact, my dad is like, Will, when you become a realtor, just don't get into politics. Don't run for anything.
But this isn't politics. I
mean, they were like, we need people to help. And they sent an email out to all the realtors, like, says, can someone be on the board? And I'm like, fine, I'll throw my name in the hat. And it was a very hard fought one race of one person, and I was the one that they chose. So really no background there.
But just to back up, if good people don't stand up or speak up, nothing will ever change. And so people can't expect change if nobody steps up. So I'm glad that you won. Even though it was a one-man race, I'm still glad you won, because you do have a good head on your shoulders. I've known you for 20 years. Yeah. And so I appreciate your point of view. And again, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And so it's just getting the common everyday people onto these boards so we can have a good balance instead of all politicians or a lot of these boards, everybody on the board is paid for in a government entity or bureaucracy of some type, and so it's nice.
We don't get paid. I don't have a salary. I don't get paid anything.
No, I get that.
I think we got some peanuts. Like literally, we got some peanuts.
Okay, that's hilarious. No, but seriously, thank you so much for stepping up. I totally agree with what you said, Mary. We need more regular people who can bring some common sense into things, and clearly you're doing due diligence here, so we appreciate you doing that and applaud you for doing so. What are some of your takeaways from meeting with Stark Power? What were some of the things that stood out to you, or that you would like our viewers to be informed of?
Well, the first thing I want everyone to know is that there's so much there. There's so much to digest, and so that's why a decision has to be made. And I wouldn't say that there's going to be many decisions along the way, right? But there's going to be a lot of information that's going to have to keep coming out and keep reassuring people or convincing us that this is not the right way to go, that we need to change direction. To me, if you were to boil this down to get to the gist of it, like for me, what it is I don't want to just say no and run away. I want to make sure that we are for sure either can't do it or can do it, and then I want to just have teeth into some of the promises being made. So if there are going to be 400 jobs that are created out of this, that'll be permanent 400 jobs that are bringing in an average of $110,000. That's what I had heard. If that is what it's going to be,
that's what you were told, not what you had heard.
Yes,
yep.
Right. I was told that. Right. So if that is the case, then I just want to see, I want to see some teeth in it, right? I want to see some teeth into if they're going to do a closed loop system for water. I want to where's the teeth to making sure that happens? Where's the teeth for the lighting?
Or where did the water come from, and where is it going to be disposed of? Because it has to be changed every now and then.
So those are all that's where I'm coming from. I guess I've gone to. So I did go to the meeting. I did meet with the investors just to get I wanted to hear from the horse's mouth, what are we bringing forward? Because I don't want to go to a commission meeting and decide within an hour and a half time frame what's happening, right?
Sure.
I need to know ahead of time. I need to think about it, and then I need to ask the other people, what do you think? I don't like it when you go into when you go into a we can talk more after the
Yeah,
segment, about like.
let's take a quick
Yeah.
break and then you can break it down a little bit more. So don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Find your path to discovery, adventure, and inspiration in Lemon, South Dakota. Immerse yourself in the charm and beauty of the region's natural resources. Unearth eras of history. Explore the unique attractions and world-renowned creations. Come see for yourself what makes this community a great getaway and an even greater place to make your home. Whether you're here for a day or for a lifetime, you can find your path in Lemon, South Dakota.
There's never been a better time to rediscover the style, reliability, and all-season, all-terrain fun of the all-new Nissan lineup at the new and improved Ryan Nissan. Whether it's the sleek and stylish Murano, the adventure-ready Pathfinder, or the reimagined, ready-for-anything 2026 Rogue, the all-new Ryan Nissan has the vehicle of your dreams at a price perfect for any budget. It's time to rediscover your passion for the road. It's time to rediscover the all-new Ryan Nissan, engineered to endure.
Yeah, U.S. Cattlemen is a member organization that each member has a vote in anything we do with policy. We're representing the independent cattleman or the cow-calf guy or an independent feeder or whatever. We like to support the independent producer. Talking about mandatory ID, we're talking about cool, we're talking about all the legislation that's going to be coming down with the new administration. There's going to be lots of moving and shaking, so always check us out at our website, uscattleman.org.
Come on in and experience small town hospitality and the personalized care that makes car buying a pleasure.
We know that every journey starts with the right car. Whether it's school drop-off, weekend road trips, or your daily commute, we have the right vehicle for you and your family.
With trusted brands, affordable prices, and a team that treats you like family, finding your next car has never been so easy.
We pride ourselves on personal attention and quality service. Bassett Motors, where our customers send their friends.
When I first decided to invest in gold, I was a bit nervous and unsure how to start. Luckily, I found Noble Gold Investments. From the very first call, they made investing easy. No pushy sales tactics, no gimmicks, and no confusing free silver offers with hidden fees. Just honest advice tailored to my needs, giving me confidence every step of the way. If you're new to gold investing or want a partner you can trust, visit noblegoldinvestments.com.
Welcome to where classy meets Wild West. Buffalo Gypsy Boutique of Bismarck has clothing, decor, and gifts ranging from sophisticated boho style to fun and flashy. Our exclusive brands such as Scully, Double D Ranch, and Tanner Mark provide standout style for the whole family, right down to the little ones. We always have a great selection of Kimes denim, and we proudly offer American-made jewelry and artwork. Find Buffalo Gypsy classing up North Bismarck just off Highway 83.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on BEK. We're visiting with Will Gardner, and he is with the Mandan City Commission Planning and Zoning. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so we only have one segment, so we got to cram a whole lot of stuff into one segment. What did this company, Stark Energy, tell you specifically?
The positive things that they were promising, and I promised whatever, is that 400 full-time employees, that would be...
After it's up and running.
After it's done and running, right?
Okay, but now we had Tammy Clark and Kristen Megan Kelly on a couple weeks ago or a week ago, and they said that any of these data centers that they have followed up with, and there's many of them across the United States, the most employees that they ever employed permanently was 29.
Yeah, that's why when I first started talking, like teeth. That's why I want to know, like, what do we have? And so I did ask the staff at the city, what can we do? Like, what tools do we have to kind of assure some of this? I feel a little bit overreaching to some degree because I'm a big property rights person. So to me, like, what you do with your land and who you sell it to is also really important. Like, what you want to do with your land is also really important. And I hesitate. I'm learning how to kind of develop a philosophy of political philosophy on this, because I've been more interested in the national philosophy and the statewide. Like the local philosophy is I need to develop it better, and I'm trying to understand where that is, because I don't think that if somebody owns some land, they should be able to do what they want with it within the bounds of affecting other people, right? Like, so I do like this quid pro quo that you give us this from the city, then we'll give you that. I mean, what they're promising $46 million in property tax from that. Do you know that the city's budget is $43 million? So this would double or take away all of the property tax duties. I'm not.
They're promising that?
Yeah, $46 million.
But even look at Walmart. They didn't have to pay taxes for how long? I mean, so you know what?
Well, the difference is that Walmart was coming in that was to lure them in. We're not trying to. I'm not trying to lure them in. I mean, I don't know who is, but I think they're just coming on their own volition, trying to find places that they could put data centers. How that is, I don't want to speculate. I don't know. But they are here. They're coming, or they want to come, and they're promising this. This is obviously with Walmart. That's something that everybody every day is going to use, right? So we're trying to. I believe I wasn't here. I wasn't part of that, but it seemed like they were trying to find ways of getting them to come to North Mandan or come to Mandan, so we'd have a Walmart in Mandan. We are not, like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not trying to lure them in. They're coming asking us. I was invited to get more information, and I took it because I wanted more information, so that when I could talk to those.
So, but then you had also said that it would have 4,000 temporary jobs, or not temporary, construction jobs.
They told me 2,000, but again, like, I think these are pretty big figures. Big numbers, or I think we're too far out right now to know. Here's what I was told. The first thing in the meeting that I was told when I met with the investors of the group is that the reason why this is all happening so quickly is because it had been announced on a Facebook page from someone running for the Senate, that for a local Senate seat, that this was going to happen, and so they had to get out in front of it because they hadn't purchased land, and they have an option to purchase the land, is my understanding. So they're not yet ready to, like, commit to everything. They're just trying to figure. So they're playing catch up, right? They're playing. They don't have, like, they just told me they're working with the marketing department to try to get all the information to us. The other thing I think is things have happened and things evolve. This is a very, I think, a relatively new industry, right? Especially with AI. So the things that are coming along that have the buildings that they've been building in other locations across the country are different, and I think they're getting better and improving, and they're thinking, this didn't work, and then they're trying to, like the closed loop system, the electrical use, people will, I believe, conflate, and I'm not saying they're wrong, I haven't seen the numbers to validate, but they're saying, well, our MDU rates are going up 10, 15%, whatever it is, so that must be in preparation for the data centers. The data center people are telling me, no, we're building our own electrical generating facilities based off of power that is based off of natural gas fuel, and they're going to be actually exporting electricity out instead of importing. They'll actually be selling.
Interesting.
I just want to know, like, you hear these things from both sides. I just want to know who's right. Right.
So Carmen, you had a question.
I want to ask you a twofold question, and I hope, as a realtor, and looking at the location, looking at all that whole area, when you look at the homes that have been built that have beautiful views, that all the things that they thought they'd have, forever, what is going to happen to the value of residential homes? And the other question I have is that being that close to this brand new high school, we are hearing more and more about health hazards to people with the data centers and the noise and all the stuff. What is that going to do to the health of our young children? Well, they're not so young when they hit high school, but still, what seeds could that possibly plant in their health picture over their working career? And how are we going to guarantee that we are watching that and that we are knowing what we're doing? Sorry to ask you, so tough.
And we're going to run out of time, so just.
Yep. So the short answer is that's the first I've heard that the noise pollution would that there was an impact on health. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the tonal noise, because what it is, it's a noise that we can't even hear, just like a dog whistle. We can't hear a dog whistle, but the dogs can hear it. Sure. They have found that there's most of the, when I say most, a large percentage of the children in elementary schools, they can't concentrate. They put them on ADHD. They can't sleep at night. Everyone has insomnia in these areas. And this is stuff that they've learned over time. And so why would they want to put it right next to town? I can understand go out in the countryside somewhere and even, you know what I'm saying? But why would they do it right when our town is growing and building and moving?
Well,
north?
I can answer that. I mean, there was a lot of questions there. So, and again, I'm not the company.
Sure,
so
sure,
I don't
go
know.
ahead. Yep.
And I don't need to defend. I get the freedom of saying no and yes. Like I can say no, get out of here. Like I have nothing on to bother me, right? It's like it's so.
Okay, but anyway.
But the tonal noise, like I did hear a little bit about that. And I just don't know enough about like how the science behind that and like if there's what kind of evidence there is for that. That's just something that I don't know how you answer. I will say that there's been a lot of industry. I mean, when I see people complaining about the lights that could be there, and I'm like looking over at Tesoro, and I'm seeing this and the fire blazing out and the smoke. Not to say two wrongs make a right, they don't. But what it's done to create jobs and increase all the industry, increase all the growth in our city, I just think, well, like let's just make sure we get this right. Let's just not slam the door on their faces if
Okay, well, what do you foresee as a realtor as far as property values for homeowners?
Well, I think that's a fair question. I don't know if it's a great thing for them.
I mean, you could be part of a council that says, well, look, that's good news for you. You don't have as high a property tax because your house isn't worth anything anymore. I mean, there could be that,
There's always a silver lining. Yeah.
There's always a silver lining.
I mean, look, I think anytime you put anything industrial next to somebody's house, I mean, I think wherever you go, as a matter of fact, I mean, that Tesoro plant, or I'm getting the wrong, whatever the name is now. Marathon. Wherever,
But they were north of town. Let's be honest. When that was built, that was way north of town. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so.
But they put it by the river, and there's some things there. So yes, I mean, I would think that they would probably go down to some degree. Yeah, it depends. So they've done some things like
Okay. We have 1 minute. So just what would you like to leave our viewers?
View sheds. There's planting trees and stuff like that. There's buffers. That the points of buffers they call them. Again, I think the most important thing is call your or talk to your city commissioner or your planning zoning commissioner. That'd be the one thing to take away. Like just don't go to the meeting and just go at the microphone and yell. Like get ahead of it, right? Call and talk to them. Like let's talk through the reasons.
Yeah.
If you're saying you're for these centers, and then you're like you say no, there's not one single good center. I went to one of the meetings that was last week at the railroad
Mandan Depot,
and anyway, we got to go. But I mean, I'm just thinking, you got to do more than just complain. You got to talk to people and give me the reason. You can't say you're for it and then say there's not one good example that I can point to that they're doing it right. Well, okay, that means you're against data centers. If we're against data centers, and if China's going to make all the data centers, do we want our military using Chinese data centers to point our missiles? Okay, AI tells us.
I think it has more to do with location than it has to do with the data centers themselves.
The proximity, they save enormous amounts of money because it's right close. If we don't do it in Mandan, if it's in the county, then Mandan itself doesn't get the benefits that the county does, like the property tax and that sort of thing.
So you'd annex the land into the city if it's not in it already?
I believe so. But again, I'm learning. I'm trying to understand.
Sounds like what China did in Grand Forks.
So
yeah.
So call. I mean, feel free to call me. I mean, I'll take your text. I want to talk. I want to know before I go to vote. I don't want to go into a meeting and then be forced emotionally into it. I want to be forced into this intellectually because it's the right or wrong thing to do.
All right. So long story short, a short story long, call your city commissioners and get more information. Give them your opinion in a civil, professional way, good, bad, or indifferent. These things are coming, and we have to stay on top of it and stay ahead of it. Don't go away. When you come back, we're going to have Dawn Shepard, and she is from the New Salem area, kind of talking on the same topic. Don't go away.
Stop out to our facility, Highway 22 South. Let us build a truck for you.
When there's a storm on the horizon, you typically don't get a lot of advance notice. So you brace yourself as best you can and rebuild when it's over. Times like these are what insurance is for, the protection of our livelihoods, our families, our homes, and our lives. We support our community coming together in times of need. As an independent insurance agency, we tailor our services to your needs. At Dakota Community Insurance, we can help you weather the storm. Talk to one of our agents today.
We are the St. Mary Sisters. We are building a new facility here in Bismarck, North Dakota, for the sake of training young women to be courageous teachers in this state. The Sisters will educate the younger generation to be fully alive through truth and discipline. The Sisters' life of devotion and joy will make a positive difference in your community. Check out what we're up to, see what's going on, and join our mission to make a difference in the lives of the children of North Dakota.
Let's be frank, it's a pain to be without your vehicle after an accident. That's why you should take it to Jerome's Collision Center. Our shop is supersized and we have the qualified staff to fill it up and work on your vehicle, step by step, piece by piece, in crazy fast time without sacrificing quality. When you need us, we'll turn your bad experience into a good one. We're Jerome's Collision Center and we're the best at what we do.
Hey, I'm Corey Heppola, and I grew up in a small town.
This road used to be gravel.
But a long time ago, I left to live in a big city. Now, I wonder...
Just because we're small doesn't mean we can't have nice things.
What would it be like to move back?
Man, it's mad love up in here.
So, I'm traveling to different small towns across the Midwest to find out. Because what do I really know about rural living? Oh. The people.
If there is anything that you can say about this town, it's that we take care of each other.
The innovation.
So none of this equipment even existed.
And the opportunities.
It's like every year in the spring, there's always like a revitalization of just excitement.
This is my town.
Well, oh, jeez. You were close.
7 episodes. Sunday night, 6:30 on BEK TV.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on BEK, and we have another lady in our dude spot, Dawn Shepard. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You've been with us before when you were out fighting against wind towers and whatnot. And it's not that you're fighting against something, because there are, private property rights are a big deal, and we want to, be solid that we agree with private property rights. However, when these big things come in, those surrounding this should also have somewhat of a say. And so you are basically a concerned citizen. Why don't you just kind of give us a little bit of background? Who is Dawn Shepard?
Just somebody who wants to be left alone out on a farm and enjoy our peace and quiet. Really, that's all I think a lot of the rural people are asking. When these industrial projects come to agricultural areas, we just want to live our quiet, peaceful lives. Mm-hmm. And when those rights are being taken away from us, our peace and quiet, our way of life, our health, our safety, our livestock, that's when we have to fight back, because our property rights are being invaded.
Yeah. And so you actually moved into the country to live in the country.
Yes, we did.
And just slowly but surely more and more wind towers came, and then just last year, this past spring, time flies so fast, they proposed another great big wind farm, and so you will be surrounded by wind towers.
Yes. When we bought the place in 2009, there wasn't one anywhere. We didn't know anything about their plans of putting them up. Since then, we can see over 200 from our home. The closest, we have several that are less than a mile. We have several dozen that are less than 2 miles from our home. And right now, we can look out the south window and still see nature. But after this new wind farm goes up that got approved by the county last year, we'll be looking at wind towers that are even almost double the height of the ones that have been there since 2009 and forward. So they will be larger, they will be noisier, they will cause more issues, and that'll be looking out my front window.
Right.
Sitting on our front deck is what we'll get to enjoy. So
it's so egregious to me to think that we have all this information about how harmful it has been in many places, and now it's still moving forward,
Yes.
but more robustly. Tell us, what are some of your main concerns about the proposed data center coming near Mandan or in Mandan?
Okay, well, Morton County has been working on a data center ordinance for several months now. They did have a moratorium for a year, and they are just about done, and we'll be voting on it Wednesday evening at the Planning and Zoning meeting. So it's very important that residents get there or voice their opinions, go online, look at it, read it. My biggest concern, and I think everybody's, other than it looks horrible and it causes a lot of pollution, the noise. The noise is very destructive to your way of life and to your health if you live in that area. And so with this ordinance, we've tried to incorporate protections on vibration and infrasound, but they left out tonal sound. And I was in discussions with zoning director Natalie Pierce last week on it. I had sent her an email back in June to put that into the ordinance. Somehow it got missed at their subcommittee meetings that the public didn't know about till after they were over with. And so then and she was posting updated drafts, but when I would ask, well, when's the next subcommittee meeting? It'll be in July. So July rolled around, I think July 8th, I emailed her and asked her, when is this July meeting? And she said, oh, it was yesterday. It was like, and
Wow,
these are North Dakota
like
public meetings that
right.
are supposed to notify the public as soon as, like, subcommittee members. We went around and around, she and I did, over the director capture problems too with the North Dakota public meetings and these subcommittee meetings. So I thought the issue was resolved, but nobody knew about them until they were over with. Yeah,
so
it gets very frustrating. That's another issue.
But we talk about transparency, and they're saying, oh yes, we're transparent, we have this, we have that. But these meetings are done in the dark of night. It's just like the wind towers. Yeah. When it came down at the very end, whether to vote it in or out, the one county commissioner said, well, they put all this money into it, we better pass it. It's like, well, they put the money into it with the, these companies that come in to invest. They put their own money into it without taking out a permit, but they've done all the studies, they've done this and they've done that, and all of a sudden, oh, well, they put all that money into it. No, that's not our problem. That's their problem.
That's right. That's right. Just like the noise is their problem, it shouldn't be ours. And so what I had asked her to do was put it is a very good, it's not perfect, but it's much better than a lot of county ordinances are for data center protections, especially as far as noise goes. But the tonal noise needs to be addressed. Now, she said she talked to the subcommittee. They did not want to vote on it or add it in until there was time to discuss it, which the only time we're going to be able to do that is Wednesday night's meeting. So I have urged my neighbors, friends, people in Morton County, they need to contact Natalie Pierce before 5:30 this Wednesday night, July 22nd, because that is when they will be discussing it. And you need to tell her you want a clause in there stopping tonal noise. And if you can't be at the meeting, try and go online, and you can call in and cut in. And during the public hearing time, you can email Natalie. Her phone number and email are both on the Planning and Zoning Commission site. Let her know you are against tonal noise. You want a clause in there stopping tonal noise at the property border of the data center. And you want that in there, and you want the Planning and Zoning Committee to vote on that and to vote yes on that clause, adding it to this ordinance.
Okay.
It is so important. They passed this without that in there. Tonal noise is the worst. You've got the audible noise, the broadband noise that they measure by the decibels, and they have really good ones in here for that, good ordinance in here for that. They have the infrasound. They actually tried to work infrasound into this one, which was wonderful because the wind tower ones don't have one, and they need it in there. But they left tonal out. Now, the tonal noise is the pure tone. It's a single frequency. It's a long wavelength, and it's steady. It is steady. It is consistent. It is repetitive. It goes 24/7. It never stops, and it goes through walls. So
and it kind of vibrates through the ground.
It can vibrate, but the noise is this. This is the stuff you hear from the cooling systems and the fans that you hear people complaining of all over the nation, is like the whirring, the humming, the buzzing, the non-stop 24/7. This needs to be contained at the border of the property line of the data center facility and not be allowed past that point.
And there's so much concern because of the data and the scientific medical evidence of how it affects people and their brains and this and animals, livestock.
Yes, you know, you talk about the one in Mandan that's going to be near the high school. This noise is annoying and aggravating. Even it's very low frequency and it's quiet, but it's there. It can actually be below the allowable decibel range. And so they say, well, it's not above it. We can't do anything about it. But it is. It's a special kind of noise that is, like I said, it's a low frequency and it's constant 24/7. It does not stop because these data centers don't stop. The fans don't stop running. The transformers don't stop running. The power doesn't stop running. So it's day and night. And at night, it's even worse because the ambient sounds are quieter. So this gets louder, it seems like. So it needs to have a rule of its own in county ordinances or in city ordinances. Sure. And it will stop, it really, like you said, causes headaches, causes frustration, causes confusion. They have showed that students' study habits, their ability to concentrate in school on their homework has suffered.
It affects their frontal lobe.
Yes,
Okay.
and it affects nausea, it affects reproduction organs, it affects your cardiovascular, your respiratory, and this is proven. And not just in humans, but animals too, livestock, people's livestock, their pets, their horses, their equestrians, everything. So it's very serious.
All right, so we're going to have to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about some of those situations. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
You know the rule. No phones at the dinner table.
I know, I'm sorry. It's just Noble Gold Investments. I bought some gold for the kids.
Finally.
Well, the gold you bought me gives me so much security in this economic disaster we're having. I want that for them too.
Well, I've been investing with Noble Gold Investments for years, and I'm pretty sure they can wait until after lunch.
Invest in something you can hold. Invest in Noble Gold. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com to learn more.
West River Equipment of Mandan is here to help you maintain peak productivity in your operation. As an authorized dealer for many high-quality equipment lines, we have the new and used equipment it takes to make your farming, ranching, or construction operation profitable and efficient. West River Equipment also has the parts on hand and the experienced technicians in our shop to get your equipment back in action fast. Find what you need at West River Equipment on Old Red Trail in Mandan.
Find relief for what ails you at BEK Apothecary. Teas, supplements, tinctures, and more. Formulated to fight whatever has you down. We're Bismarck Mandan's favorite place to find delicious, natural, and easy ways to alleviate symptoms brought on by anything from colds to cancer. Brew a better you at BEK Apothecary. Steep meat products may cause side effects, including but not limited to improved mood, deeper sleep, enhanced hydration, renewed sense of smell, increased energy levels, superior balance, boosted immunity, proper digestion, restored sense of calm, and a delightful smelling home.
Welcome to Radiant Retreat Tanning and Spa in Mandan, where a relaxing spa experience meets the latest in healing innovations. Take total control of your massage in our Hydro Massage Bed. Experience whole body healing in our Zero Body Cryo Bed. Let our salt sauna and halo generator restore your respiratory and skin health. And of course, tailored tanning will keep you looking as good as you feel. Discover your best self at Radiant Retreat, 1307 1st Street Northeast, Mandan.
We're from North Dakota, where 12,000 workers bring electricity to 2 million customers and provide over $5 billion in economic activity to the state, while reclaiming 22,000 acres of land. This is coal country.
Welcome back to Ladies of Another View on BEK. I tell you, we need to record our breaks because that's when all the information gets shared. Ooh,
it's like a whirlwind.
I know, because Will was still in here, so we had some great conversation, but only 3 minutes. So let's pick up where we left off. We're talking about some of the medical side effects that people don't even understand. And there are studies out of England, or I shouldn't say studies, they have studied these things. And they have seen the symptoms and these different medical situations arise, and they are all documented, but there aren't a lot of studies per se that put them together. Am I saying that correctly?
You are. Part of the problem is data centers of this scale are so new that there haven't been time to do studies from a lot of this. Now, there are studies on infrasound, there are studies on loud audible noise for workplaces, there are studies on tonal noise, but not specifically from data centers.
I just want to say, so when Tammy and Kristen were here last week, they did talk about that. Like, they'll put it into a work day, like 8 hours. Well, these things run 24/7, so they've never done these longer studies.
Exactly, and those kind of studies have not been done, the 24/7 ones. But if they've got to have protections for people on an 8-hour workday, don't you think they should have protection for residents that are living next to these things 24/7?
And OSHA, are they just geared right into just the workplace?
Well, and the EPA, I found out, I had to do a lot of research myself, does not regulate noise. They leave that to state and local. So this is where your local officials need to come in and step up to the plate.
So tell me this, I've heard that there's some talk in other counties in North Dakota that, we'll just do a half-mile easement, if that's what they're calling it. So it's a half-mile away from any farmyard or anything, and then it's going to be fine for the noise.
No.
And how far, didn't you say, 2 miles that it's
still?
Yes.
Like 10 or...
Infrasound has been documented traveling up to 60 miles, yes. And quite commonly, 12 to 15 is kind of average. And with infrasound is more of the sound pressure that you feel from the vibrations of the equipment that will affect regulatory or your respiratory system and your cardiovascular systems. You don't hear that. Those are ones that animals really, really feel because it's just like the constant pressure on their heart and on their lungs in the body. And those have been proven to be very detrimental to your health. As with tonal noise, the military used those for like weapons of torture.
Yes.
So this is a very real thing, and they can't deny it. And there have been studies in the military on both infrasound and tonal noise back to the 1970s. So they're in English, in America. So, but they don't want to talk about it. And then they think, well, if there's a problem, we'll address it later. No, it needs to be addressed before the construction. Yes. Mitigation is so hard. And then they'll say, well, we can't afford these model studies and they take too long. No, they don't. Europe has good, quick studies now. They have programs and apps that companies can use to do a narrow band analysis, and it can just zone in on the noise, on the model noise, and it can zone in on where it's coming from and how to mediate it. And they said most of them are very cheap, inexpensive ways to mitigate these prior to construction. And like Williston, the Atlas Data Center spent over $5 million putting up a wall trying to stop this tonal noise.
Oh my gosh.
To no avail. They said trying to stop tonal noise with a wall is like trying to stop a giant ocean wave with a postcard. It's going to go right around it.
Right.
And so you need to get to the source of it. And most of the time it just needs to change like the circulatory system in, where the airflow is. They can be very cheap. And they say that when they do this, especially if it's the cooling fans and the air conditioning, the HVAC systems, those are the things making the constant chronic humming noises. Sometimes it's generators and transformers. But they can mediate these things very inexpensively, and it will actually end up dropping the noise down and saving them electricity in the long run. In Williston, it dropped the noise by 20, or I think all they had to do is add louvers to the fan ventilation system and change the airflow, and it saved them 98% of the noise. The noise dropped by 98%,
Wow.
and it saved them 22% in electrical rates.
Wow.
So had they done this earlier, they could have saved themselves $5 million with a worthless wall.
Yeah.
that now is hideous to look at too.
Right. I just really appreciate you, people like you and your efforts, because I see this push in time. It's like go, 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 go.
Yeah.
These
Right.
hyperscale data centers. Why?
Well, I guess there was a lot of
And
money
then,
that
yes,
they needed
tax
to
money. But then
by July
also
1.
it's like, listen, why do we have to do it in such a fast amount of time? If we're going to go and do something on an executive committee and board, we are the ones who are like the parents who are held responsible to make sure that it is done right and beforehand. And so I think, you're just asking people to slow down and take a look at the bigger picture. It's not a hard, fast no. It is, let us do this responsibly. Let us do this with wisdom, learning from what mistakes have been made in other places.
Exactly.
Well, and I just, when you say why, that was my first thing I wrote down way back with Will. Because it's like the CO2 pipeline. Why do we need it? Why now? Why so fast? Why are you just pushing so hard to get this done? What will the data centers do? Give me their job description. Give me what they're there for. Why is it important? Give me the whys. Give me the facts. Then I can make an educated decision. Is the cost worth the production of what we'll get? But there's no whys. There's never any answers to the whys.
And they keep saying that it's because we need it for our military, first of all, because we don't want China to go ahead and have control of the data for our military, which I understand that part of it. They say those that are speaking out against the data centers in the United States are actually being given this information by the Chinese. That's not true. They were claiming that Tammy and Kristen are being paid by the Chinese to do this.
Of course.
And right now, the data centers that China has in progress right now, the state of Virginia in the United States of America has more data centers than all of China right now.
Yes.
So there was a big tax benefit for people to go ahead. They were getting taxpayer money. That's our money. They were getting taxpayer money to go ahead and do this investment. They already know that these are going to be obsolete within 5 years, is what we've been told. And they have quantum computing, which is already going to take the place of this artificial intelligence and all this computing. What they're saying is what AI can do right now in just a split second, with quantum computing, they can do about 1,000 things in that first split second.
And Elon says in 3 years it's all going to be in space. So
and so we only have 45 seconds. What would you like to leave our viewers with?
The bad thing is there's close to 5,000 hyper data centers in the U.S. running at 17% capacity. So yes, what is the rush to create more so they can sit empty and not be running, but destroy all the farmland, destroy all the ag land? So
with no plan afterwards.
With no plan afterwards, right.
Or does it lead to the 15-minute cities? But that's a whole nother
that's a whole other segment. I agree with you there. That's a part of it. But all I can say is, Morton County residents, please contact Natalie Pierce before 5:30 p.m. This Wednesday, July 22nd. Tell her you want a clause in the ordinance that they will be voting on that says a data center is not allowed to produce tonal noise that carries beyond the boundary of the property upon which the data center has been permitted. That needs to be discussed. It needs to be voted on. It needs to be voted yes and put in this ordinance.
Okay, thanks, Dawn. We have simply run out of time. We appreciate you spending some time with us and sharing your information. We got to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to visit with Danny from Fanatics and a huge deal, a concert coming up at the Bismarck Depot. Don't go away.
There's never been a better time to rediscover the style, reliability, and all-season, all-terrain fun of the all-new Nissan lineup at the new and improved Ryan Nissan. Whether it's the sleek and stylish Murano, the adventure-ready Pathfinder, or the reimagined, ready-for-anything 2026 Rogue, the all-new Ryan Nissan has the vehicle of your dreams at a price perfect for any budget. It's time to rediscover your passion for the road. It's time to rediscover the all-new Ryan Nissan, engineered to endure.
Are you dealing with arthritis, nerve and back pain, dry skin, or superficial wounds, but found no relief? Give Stewart's Natural Health a try. For over 4 decades, Stewart's Natural Health has been helping people and animals with herbal and natural oil lotions, ointments, and creams with a mission to help you relieve pain and feel your best using the power of nature. Discover the safe, drug-free solution to your pain. Guaranteed or your money back. Visit stewartsnatural.health today.
Welcome to where classy meets Wild West. Buffalo Gypsy Boutique of Bismarck has clothing, decor, and gifts ranging from sophisticated boho style to fun and flashy. Our exclusive brands such as Scully, Double D Ranch, and Tanner Mark provide standout style for the whole family, right down to the little ones. We always have a great selection of Kimes denim, and we proudly offer American-made jewelry and artwork. Find Buffalo Gypsy classing up North Bismarck just off Highway 83.
West River Equipment of Mandan is here to help you maintain peak productivity in your operation. As an authorized dealer for many high-quality equipment lines, we have the new and used equipment it takes to make your farming, ranching, or construction operation profitable and efficient. West River Equipment also has the parts on hand and the experienced technicians in our shop to get your equipment back in action fast. Find what you need at West River Equipment on Old Red Trail in Mandan.
Welcome to Arrowhead Cleaners. Newly renovated, modernized, and ready to make your cleaning needs hassle-free. From commercial and residential wash and fold laundry services to the latest in professional dry cleaning techniques, we are dedicated to your unique needs, offering alterations, fabrications, and even custom hat making. So whether you're a busy professional, a family on the go, or even a rodeo champion, Arrowhead Cleaners is here to take your things from messed up to dressed up. Now celebrating our 64th year in Arrowhead Plaza.
Ashley, North Dakota is where life moves a little slower, but never gets dull. From hunting, camping, and fishing to safe streets where kids can be kids, this is the best of small town living. And Ashley offers everything you need, from healthcare to hardware to countless ways to stay active. Here, we've invested in our future with major upgrades to roads, parks, and education. Whether you're here for the day or here for life, you'll find Ashley's where you ought to be.
Welcome back to Ladies Have Another View on Back. The show has been flying through and we saved the best for last. The other two guests were great, don't get me wrong, but this is more fun. Those are more serious. So Danny, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
So you're with Fanatics Events, and
Yes.
we've been working with Fanatics for years. Beck has with the Bismarck Bucks football and, you know, carrying on and whatnot. Tell us a little bit about Fanatics.
So Fanatics, we have a lot of events going on that we help with. We also have what we were calling Bismarck Depot Days. So we have events going on all summer long, right in downtown Bismarck, through in the fall, which we haven't announced yet. So we got a lot more coming up, and we have an announcement tomorrow as well, and another event that we're going to be planning. So we just have fun events all summer long.
All right, so tell us a little bit about this one, July 30th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah, so we're having a free community concert on July 30th.
This is your last one,
This is our last one, so it's our third and last one. We're going to have Savannah Benz and Peyton Lilly playing from about 6 to 9, and we're going to have a food truck and a drink tent also there, and then we're going to have a community back to school drive. So anyone can bring school supplies or non-perishable food items that'll go to United Way, and then it'll stay right in the community.
Oh, so the food you said goes to United Way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, United. So everything's going to go to United Way, and then they'll distribute it out throughout the community.
Oh, okay.
So can you create kind of like a little visual for our viewers? What is it like when going to one of these events? Because I know I attended one recently with my kids, and we had an absolute blast.
Oh, that's great. So like I said, it's right in downtown Bismarck, so as we know, we get very short.
Talk a little bit slower, my dear.
So summers in Bismarck, we know, can be very short. So it's great to be able to be outside, listen to live music. We're going to have Brainy Inc. is going to be back for kids, and we have yard games so people can play games while they're outside listening to music, and it's a great to be downtown.
That part was so fun. We played Tetris as a family, and it was really fun.
So do people bring their own lawn chairs, or how do they, what's the seating?
Yes, so we do have some seating, but it's first come, first serve. So yes, please do bring a chair if you're going to plan to come to the event so you have somewhere to sit.
Okay, and so this is at the old depot,
Yes.
right, on Main Street. So that big parking lot there will have room for people to sit and do all that.
Yes.
I just have to back up a little bit. Now, when you said you distribute the school supplies, are you talking all the schools in Bismarck and Mandan, or is this just a Bismarck distribution of the things?
That's a good question. It would be for mostly Bismarck.
Okay.
But it's through United Way, and I think
Yes.
they work with Mandan too. I
know a lot of churches and different things, you know, do collections for school supplies too, but I just wondered, yeah.
All right, school supply drive at the entrance. Bring a donation for United Way, any school supplies or non-perishable food item, and drop it off as you come in. And like she said, kids zone with games. There's food from local vendors. Is there just one food truck, or are there several food trucks?
Yes, so it'll be Utterly's Amazing Sweets and Treats will be on site, and they're very good.
Oh,
Very good food.
Great. And where do people expect to park?
I know construction has been a little bit of a mess downtown, as we all know. It
So
won't
what's
be.
new?
It won't be done, unfortunately, in time for the concert. There is some side street parking, and then there are parking lot
Two parking ramps, right?
They're short walking distance, less than 5 minutes.
And they're very safe. People should know
Yes.
that the parking ramps, a lot of people are leery to go in them, and it's like, no, they're very safe and they're very well lit. And
Yes.
and especially with the long nights in the summers, it's lit, you know, most of the time anyway.
Yeah.
Sun doesn't go down till 10 o'clock. So let me ask you this, because I think I might have missed it. Did you guys already have the mac and cheese event, or did you not have it this year?
We are not having that one this year. We just wrapped up Wienerfest on Saturday.
And how did that go?
It was great. We had a lot of people attended the event. Das Mountain won. They had that was the vote, and we had a hot dog eating contest, which was really entertaining. And then we had a wiener water chugging contest as well.
Oh my gosh!
And we had a lot of people actually sign up for that, which I was really surprised about. So it was
my
really
gosh.
fun.
Reminds me of wiener water soup. We
Yeah,
have
I was just
that
gonna say
reservation
that.
Native American comedian. He talks about wiener water soup.
Oh my gosh.
So does my son-in-law.
Oh,
too funny.
awesome. And I know one of the things that you guys promoted, that people were finding hot dogs just taped to trees and taped to,
Yes.
to highline poles to promote the event, and people were just confused by it. So,
Yep, that's genius.
All right, so we only have about 30 seconds left. What would you like to leave our viewers with?
Our next event is Rumble at the Depot, which is on August 7th. So it's going to be live pro wrestling, again, downtown, outside at the Depot. So a very unique venue, being able to watch live pro wrestling.
Oh, for fun.
It is
Yeah.
fun.
All
I
right.
remember views
All right.
from last year too. It was so great.
Perfect. All right. Well, so I want to thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank
and,
you.
thanks
Appreciate
for
it.
sharing that information. And you can drop off those school supplies. Even if you can't stay for the night, just drop off some school supplies. And we'll see you next time right here on Ladies of Another View on BEK. Now go save our country and attend some local events.
Ashley, North Dakota is where life moves a little slower, but never gets dull. From hunting, camping, and fishing to safe streets where kids can be kids, this is the best of small town living. And Ashley offers everything you need, from healthcare to hardware to countless ways to stay active. Here, we've invested in our future with major upgrades to roads, parks, and education. Whether you're here for the day or here for life, you'll find Ashley's where you ought to be.
We are the St. Mary Sisters. We are building a new facility here in Bismarck, North Dakota, for the sake of training young women to be courageous teachers in this state. The Sisters will educate the younger generation to be fully alive through truth and discipline. The Sisters' life of devotion and joy will make a positive difference in your community. Check out what we're up to, see what's going on, and join our mission to make a difference in the lives of the children of North Dakota.
I'm Gary Emmett, host of Open Range. We've been at this for the past couple years. Representative Matt Heilman of Bismarck and former legislator Brandon Pritchard are going to do some regular segments on Open Range. While we cover a lot of politics, we're still going to be continued doing mostly all things North Dakota. One exception, Friday evening, I'll be doing a new show on Open Range called On the Horn. This show will be long interviews of 3 to 5 hours with the people I'm interviewing. They'll be airing week after week on that Friday evening. So thank you for being a part of the BEK TV and Open Range family.
Come on in and experience small town hospitality and the personalized care that makes car buying a pleasure.
We know that every journey starts with the right car. Whether it's school drop-off, weekend road trips, or your daily commute, we have the right vehicle for you and your family.
With trusted brands, affordable prices, and a team that treats you like family, finding your next car has never been so easy.
We pride ourselves on personal attention and quality service. Beset Motors, where our customers send their friends.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the loose. I want to tell you, Lady Blue and I, we got a lot of miles together, but you know what? You and I got a lot of miles together as well. And all I want to do is bring to you the information on how we maintain a domestic supply of food and fuel for future generations. So I'm going to continue to travel the world and unearth the stories that make it possible that we can live in a free United States of America.
I'm Corey Heppola, and a long time ago I left my small town for a big city. Now I wonder, what would it be like to move rural?
Just because we're small doesn't mean we can't have nice things.
This is my town.
Man, it's mad love up in here.
Sunday night, 6:30 on BEK TV.